Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So in this video, I'll be talking about some very important updates, proposed changes that IRCC they are kind of thinking about as regards to study permit and off-campus work. And this update is important for both current international students in Canada and also those that are planning to come to Canada in the future. So you should be aware of some of these proposed changes. So it will guide the way you are to make a choice, of course. And these proposed changes are particularly going to be on study permits, on how universities or colleges report to IRCC, and all of these different processes. The goal of some of these proposed changes, according to IRCC, is to maintain the integrity of the system. Now, one of the first things that they've mentioned is they're going to have what is called a compliance reporting system. Okay. Now, this compliance reporting system, it means that institutions will now provide more details as regards the status of students in the particular university or college. They will report. For example, upon request, the schools should be ready to provide and say, oh, this student, they are still fulfilling the conditions on their study permit and they are still registered in our school. The reason I believe they are doing this is to avoid the situations where people come to study, maybe for one reason or the other, they don't start school on time. I can't tell what those reasons are, but this is something that I believe has been on for a lot of countries in Europe. They already have something like this where when you resume school, even in the UK, right, they always report to the government the status, right? Oh, this person is currently in school. That's why in the UK, for example, the moment you stop studying, immediately they send your information to the Home Office and you can get your visa revoked, right? So I believe that has helped the sanctity of the UK immigration to make sure that every single person that is coming to the university actually study, okay? And one of the reasons why I think maybe people may not start school on time is, let's say you come to you wanted to start school in September and you resume your school, maybe because of visa delay and all that, you come to school, let's say in third week of September or ending of September, and the school have already resumed and there's already a lot of things that are ongoing. At that particular point in time, you may not be able to start your program, right? So persons will have to wait maybe till January before they resume school. Okay, and according to IRCC, you should not be out of school for, I think, 150 days. So be ready. Okay, so if you were thinking, oh, if I come, I'm not going to start school right away and all of those processes and all that, you should be aware that you may fall into some trouble if you are not registered as a student immediately you come into Canada. Okay, so you have to plan your travel schedule. And I would say, if you are resuming before or after the start of a program, my suggestions would be try to contact the school ahead of time before traveling and ask them, I'm coming so date. Will I still be able to resume school at this stated time? That way you don't have or run into trouble. Now, the second thing is going to be the suspension of study permit processing for some of these institutions that are not compliant. Okay, so if they request for this information from the institutions and they don't comply to provide these information to IRCC, then they can have their study permit suspended. Okay, so you should be aware, especially I believe this is going to be most common for some of those smaller colleges. I believe some of the bigger colleges and universities will definitely comply, because no school will want their study permit to be, or the processing of study permit for their school to be revoked or suspended for 30 days, for a whole 12 months. Okay, that is a lot. That is a lot. Okay, so think about, before you apply to any institution, make sure at least it's an institution that is a little bit popular. People know that. In fact, if you are thinking about applying to a college or university, I would suggest that put the name of the college in the comment section, and the province. There may be some other persons that apply to the same college, and then you can view that interaction so that you know that you are not alone in this journey. Now, the big one, which is going to be new study permit application. Now, if you want to change institution in Canada, IRCC, they are proposing that you will need to apply for a new study permit. Under the current law, when you change your DLI, the only thing that you have to do is just to inform IRCC via your online portal about the change in your DLI. Just tell them the new DLI, the date and all that, just for them to keep track. If you don't tell them, there is no way that they are going to know. Under the proposed changes, if you are studying in Conestoga College, for example, and you want to switch to Mohawk College, you will have to apply for a new study permit from inside Canada. And I believe you will still have to meet the condition, the rigorous nature of study permit, okay, the rigorous nature of study permit application from inside Canada. So what is my advice? If you are planning to apply for a particular program, maybe for some reason you're thinking, if this program doesn't go well, I may have to change, right? My suggestion would be you have to do as much research as possible before you actually submit an application for this program, so that when you apply, there is no doubt that they're going to change, right? I mean, people change programs for a whole lot of reasons. You may start a master's in data analytics, and after the first few days of classes, or first semester, first few weeks of classes, or first semester, you start, oh, this is not for me. I should be doing masters of artificial intelligence. In that case, legitimately, you can actually change because you've evaluated the situation and you know what is going to be best for you. So in a situation like that, if you want to apply for the Masters of Data Analytics, you will have to now apply for a new study permit inside Canada. You have to re-explain. So you have to re-explain that you meet the conditions for the study permit. You have to re-explain, why you are applying for the program, your SOP. So everything that you did for the initial study application, you are going to be repeating some of those things, which I think it might be a little bit tough and challenging. If you are extending your study permit, it's not that a complicated process, but applying for a new study permit, that is going to be pretty tough. So I would say, do your research as much as possible. Check out all of the, information. Make sure you apply for a program that meets your demand, okay? That meets maybe an in-demand program, or it's a program that you know that you're going to be thinking about how to change in the future. That is why you should consult with experts if you're kind of having doubt as to what program should I choose. Is it in demand in Canada? What I will advise you to do, put down the name of the program that you want to apply for in the comment section, and I'm able to respond if it's an in-demand program or not. You may also see some other people that are planning to go to the same program, and if you see one or two persons that are going for the same program, it is somehow it's reasonable. It doesn't mean it's the best, but at least it is reasonable for another person to be thinking about the same program. Now, the fourth thing that I kind of thinking about is to actually increase the limit for the off-campus work from 20 hours per week to 24 hours per week. I believe the reason why they are doing this is to ensure maybe international students have more time to work. It's not actually to benefit international students per se. The overarching goal is to see that there is more workforce available to meet the increasing demand for jobs in the Canadian economy. At the end of the day, all of these proposed changes, changing, limiting DLI is to maintain the integrity of the system. The way is such that people don't just apply for a particular program that maybe they think of, oh, I want to change this program in the future, but let me just enter with this first, right? It's not illegal to do that, okay? But in the future, you may have to apply for this study permit if this rule actually passed. Mind you, it has not started. It is just a proposal. Now, the idea of schools reporting to IRCC, again, it is to fish out some of those irregularities in the system. Since the new immigration minister, Mark Miller, came on board, he has been doing as much as possible to try to restore the integrity of the system. I would say to also reduce mass migration, to reduce the number of immigrants and all that. That is the reason why you're constantly hearing about capping the number of temporary residents, study permit, work permit, and a whole lot of this situation, okay? So there are a lot of changes, okay? There are a lot of changes. So it is very tough. So one of the things is that this reporting may be biannual for the colleges. They have to, maybe twice a year, they report to IRCC those that are currently studying. Okay, so this has a lot to do with, like I said, helping to detect, fraudulent letter of acceptance and usually monitoring any kind of student, attendance effectively. In terms of fraudulent letter, I would say they have been able to deal with that because now when you apply for study permit, IRCC will actually contact your school and tell them to reply within 30 days. Sorry, within 10 days of sending them an email to confirm the validity of your admission letter. So that's the reason why it's not really possible to use fake admission this time around, since it happened, with some of the Indians that came with some fake admission letters. That's one of the things that motivated them to actually start doing something like this. And I believe it's going to work for them. And in terms of applying for a new study permit, this helped. This will ensure that IRCC, they are able to track student compliance, right? And then they're able to identify appropriately any change in DLI. Okay. And then for the work permit that I mentioned, in the past 2023 or thereabout, there were some of those regulations where you can work 24 hours per week, and then they revert it rather back to 20 hours. So let's hope that in the future they can increase this to 20 hours, because I believe it's going to be very, very beneficial to international students. That's going to be it for this video. So what I wanted to do, put in the comment section, which school and which province are you thinking to apply for? Which program? Put it in the comment section, and then I will, give one or two comments as to if it's an in-demand program, if it's a popular college or university. We probably will also see some other persons that are applying to the same school in the comment section. Don't forget to do that. And if you haven't subscribed to this video, do it to subscribe to this channel. And if you enjoyed the content and the video so far, why don't smash that like button and also share with your friends. And then when you subscribe, whenever new videos are released, you will be the first person to get notified. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video. And before that, I want to talk about my one-on-one mentorship program. If you're looking for someone to talk to one-on-one as regards to choice of course, university, college, and all that, There's going to be a link in the description. Check out the link, visit my website, and there's going to be a procedure to sign up for a consultation on different mentorship plan. And I'll be glad to help you in your journey. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.